This happened during my sophomore year of high school in a small town in Illinois. We had this unspoken rumor: never mess with locker 308. I was never the kind of person to believe in ghost stories, but this one locker in our East Wing always stayed locked, never assigned to anyone. Rumor was that a girl who used to have that locker disappeared, and it hadn't been opened since. One day my friends dared me to try opening it. I figured, what the hell? It's probably just jammed shut. So I did. I put in the master combo my cousin, who was a senior, gave me. It clicked open on the first try. Inside was nothing but an old sweater in a spiral notebook with a torn cover. But the air we smelled different. It was colder, heavy, like the air in a freezer. I remember my skin actually got goosebumps. The notebook had 3 pages filled. The first just said, "He waits for silence." The second, "Don't look at the mirror alone." And the third page was blank, except for a bloody fingerprint. The next day I stayed after school to work on a project. I was in the art room washing my brushes alone. That's when I looked up into the mirror above the sink. But it wasn't me looking back. It was someone else. It smiled. I ran. But every corner I turned in that hallway, I swear I heard footsteps behind me. Slow at first, then running. I didn't stop until I burst out the back doors and collapsed on the football field. That weekend, I got a text from a random number. It said, "You opened it. You saw him." I blocked the number, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, even at home. I went back to the locker on Monday. It was locked again, but taped to the door was a photo of me from behind in the art room. Only one person could have taken that photo, and I never saw anyone there. I told the school. They didn't believe me. The camera footage was incomplete. Now that locker's been welded shut, but every once in a while I walk past it, and I swear I hear breathing from inside.
Back in high school, I was in the band. And honestly, it was kind of a blow-off class. As long as you showed up and did your one weekly lesson, you got an A. One quarter, I missed 2 lessons and my grade slipped to a B. I asked my teacher, Mr. Nicholson, if I could make them up. And he told me I could use one of the storage rooms in the basement during lunch. Sounded good to me. The next day, I grabbed my saxophone and headed down there. I'd only been to the basement area a couple times. It always creeped me out. The halls were dim, the ceilings low, and no one else was ever down there. I picked a room, shut the door, and sat down to play. Or at least pretend to, since I planned on just gaming on my phone. About 10 minutes in, the lights suddenly cut out. Complete darkness. My phone didn't have a flashlight back then. It just barely lit the area in front of me. I stood up and peeked into the hallway. That's when I heard it, the sound of something being dragged, like a plastic container, followed by heavy breathing, not normal breathing. This was animalistic. I turned off my phone screen and ducked back into the room, heart racing. I locked the door quietly, but the fear wasn't even about what I heard. It was what I felt. That feeling that someone else was in the room with me, in the pitch black. I could barely move. Then I did the dumbest thing possible. I turned my phone screen on, just for a second, and in that flash of light, I saw someone standing in the corner. No sound, no movement, just watching me. A second later, I felt a hand on my shoulder. It didn't grab, it patted, then squeezed. I flung the door open, stumbled into the hallway, and the person inside tried to close it again. But I was out. I sprinted upstairs, heart in my throat, and ran straight to Mr. Nicholson. Security went down to check, and came back saying no one was there. No intruder. Just music stands moved around. To this day, I don't know who or what was in that room with me, but I never went near the basement again.
I transferred to a new high school in Colorado during my junior year. Small town, mountain air, nothing special, except for the weird way everyone avoided one girl. Her name was Riley. She always sat alone in the back, wore black hoodies every day, and didn't speak unless spoken to. I sat next to her once in history class, not knowing the unwritten rule. Everyone gave me these strange looks like I'd broken something sacred. She didn't seem weird at first, quiet but not unfriendly. Then one day after school, I found a note in my locker. No name, just my name written in red ink and the words, "Don't trust her, she'll wear your skin." I thought it was some sick joke. A few days later, Riley asked me to hang out. She said she had a spot in the woods behind the school where she liked to think. I told her sure. I didn't want to seem rude. She led me down this narrow path no one else used, and eventually we got to a clearing with this stone circle. I asked her what it was, and she just said, "A place to remember." That's when I noticed there were initials carved into the stones, 5 different sets, all with the same last name, Riley's. I turned to ask her about it, but she was gone, just vanished. The woods were quiet, too quiet. I called her name, started walking back the way we came, and that's when I heard whispering, not in one place, all around me. I ran. I don't even remember how I got back to the school, but when I did, I saw Riley sitting on the back steps, like nothing had happened. I didn't talk to her after that. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. Got a story to share? Drop it in the comments. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.